Hello. Now we will see the remaining signals in the minimum mode operation of 8086 processor, and that includes bus cycle definition signals, then signals related to data bus transceivers and demultiplexing signals. So first of all we will start with bus cycle definition signals here. There are three bus cycle definition signals: M/IO bar, RD bar and WR bar. So these three signals, M/IO bar is memory/IO device, then read bar is read control signal and write bar is write control signal. So these three signals collectively will define the bus cycle in progress in the minimum mode operation of 8086 processor here. Now you can observe that M/IO bar signal is a composite signal. When this signal is equal to 1, then memory operation will be defined. And when this MIO bar signal is 0, then IO operation is defined. It means that both memory and IO operations are supported by MIO bar signal here, depending on the logic, 0 or 1. If it is 0, then IO operation. If it is 1, then memory operation. Read bar and write bar signals are active low read and write signals. When a signal is 0, corresponding read or write operation will be performed. And when the signal is 1, read or write operation will be disabled. Now in this entire chart which is available in front of you, you will find that using these three bus cycle definition signal, there are total 8 combinations available, out of which the red colored combinations are very important. Like say MIO bar 0 means IO operation, RD bar 0 and WR bar 1 means read operation. So the first red colored combination, second row, MIO bar 0, read bar 0 and write bar 1. It defines IO read bus cycle which is in progress. Then the next row here 0, 1, 0. Again, MIO bar 0 means IO operation and WR bar 0 means write operation. So 0, 1, 0 will define IO write operation here. Then next will be 6th row, that is 1, 0, 1. MIO bar 1 means memory operation, read bar 0 means read operation. So it is a memory read bus cycle. Then the 7th row here is 1, 1, 0 that defines memory write operation in a similar way. And then the rest of the black colored entries which are shown in this particular table, that will either define that read bar equal to 0, write bar equal to 0 simultaneously, which is not allowed. The first row and then the 5th row here, 0, 0, 0 and 1, 0, 0. That is not allowed because read and write operation in a single bus cycle is not possible. Similarly, read bar and write bar both 1. That will define the inactive state of the microprocessor here. Because no read operation, no write operation. Okay, that's why only active states are represented here in the red color. And that will define the 4 basic bus cycles available in minimum mode operation here. Now, these 3 bus cycle definition signals can be externally decoded by using a 3 to 8 decoder 74138 to generate device specific control signals here. Okay, let us see that particular setup. This setup is like this: 3 to 8 decoder where the inputs are connected in the same sequence IO/M bar, then read bar, write bar. Sorry here. This IO/M bar should be M/IO bar. Okay, make that necessary correction here. Instead of M bar, here it is M/IO bar. And then 3 to 8 decoder, its corresponding output lines you can observe pertaining to that red colored entries from the table 001. It is IO read operation. So the output, second output of that decoder, which is active low output 001, that defines IO read bar control signal here. It is a device specific control signal for reading the data from IO device. Next is 010 entry from the table. It defines IO write operation. So 010, that is the third output line of that 3 to 8 decoder, that defines IOW bar, IO write bar control signal, which is a device specific control signal. Similarly 101, that defines memory read operation. So 101 is sixth output line of that corresponding decoder. It defines MEMR bar, memory read bar control signal. And then 110, that is a memory write operation. So seventh output line of that 3 to 8 decoder, that defines MEMW bar, that is memory write bar control signal. And the remaining 4 output lines of that 3 to 8 decoder, those are not used at all. It means that device specific control signals are IO read bar, IO write bar, memory read bar and memory write bar. Okay, and these device specific control signals are extremely important in the interfacing of memory devices and the IO devices here. Then next is about DT/R bar signal and DEN bar signal here. These two signals are associated with the data bus transceiver, that is 8286. DT/R bar is a composite signal again. It stands for data transmit / receive bar. And DEN bar signal, it is a data enable bar signal, DEN bar. Now let us see here the function of DT/R bar signal here. Data transmit / receive bar. Now this signal, it defines the direction of data transfer through the data bus buffer or transceiver. And here that number of that data bus transceiver is Intel's 8286. Okay, we are going to see the details in the design and the use of the data transceiver in the design. So this DTR bar signal, it defines the direction of data transfer through this buffer. When this signal is equal to 0, then this data bus transceiver 8286 will be set in the data receive mode. Why? Because transmit is active high, DT/R bar, and receive is active low. So whenever this composite signal is 0, that data bus transceiver will be set in the receive mode. And whenever this composite signal is equal to 1, then this data bus transceiver will be set in the transmit mode. It means that the direction of data transfer will be governed by this particular signal here. Now next is a data enable bar signal, DEN bar. In case of either data transmit or in case of data receive mode, that 8286 data bus transceiver must be enabled. And how to enable it? This active low signal DEN bar should be kept at logic 0, then that 8286 data bus transceiver gets enabled, and then one can set the direction of data transfer by using DT/R bar signal here. It clearly means that this DEN bar signal should be at logic 0. That will enable data bus transceiver, and then the direction of data transfer can be set by using DTR bar signal. Okay, in brief, the DEN bar signal is having more precedence than that of DTR bar signal here. Then the next signal in the minimum mode is address latch enable signal, ALE signal. This signal is used for demultiplexing of the multiplexed lines in 8086 processor here. We know that total number of multiplex lines are 21. Out of that, address data lines are 16 and address status lines are 5. So total 21 lines are multiplexed here. This multiplexing has been carried out to group two functions together on the same lines in a time multiplexed manner, so that number of pins in the design of that processor are reduced by significant number. But here the demultiplexing must be carried out. It means that whenever we want to actually design that system using memory and IO devices, in that case we require the demultiplexed address. We need demultiplexed data. So demultiplexing is essential in the design. Now how that demultiplexing is performed? It is performed by using ALE signal and by using octal latches. So second point written here, that ALE signal which is available in the minimum mode operation directly from the processor is connected to strobe signal, STP, of 3 sets of 8282 octal latches. 3 multiplied by 8282 means 3 sets. Each of that 8282 is an octal latch. It means that total 21 multiplex signals. Using octal latches, if I want to demultiplex, I need 3 such type of devices. So 3 multiplied by 8282 latches. Now what happens during T1 state of each bus cycle here? First of all, on the ALE, a positive ALE pulse will be output. During T1 state, ALE pulse is available. At the same time, on the multiplex lines here, address A0 to A19 and BHE bar signal will be emitted by the microprocessor on the multiplex lines, multiplex buses. And then this address 0 to 19 and this signal BHE bar will be latched in the 3 sets of 8282 octal latches here. That pulse itself is used for latching purpose. ALE pulse, which is connected to the strobe signal, will be used for latching that address 0 to 19, 20 bits of address, and BHE bar signal into these externally connected 3 sets of octal latches. Now what happens after T2 state onwards? From T2 state onwards in that same bus cycle here, that multiplex buses will carry now the 16 bits of data D0 to D15 in either direction. Data is bidirectional. And also it carries status signals here, status output signal S3 to S7. It means that in the bus cycle from T2 state onward, that multiplex lines will carry data D0 to D7 and status output signal S3 to S7. Even this part we have already covered up earlier. Then these data bus contents D0 to D15 are buffered into 2 sets of 8286 octal data bus transceivers. Why 2 sets are required? Because each of that 8286 is the octal transceiver. And we are having that 16 bits of data bus. That's why 2 such type of octal data bus transceivers are required here for buffering of 16 bits of data bus. Now what I mean by transceiver? Transceiver is basically buffer. And it is a concatenation of transmitter plus receiver. Transceiver is basically transmitter plus receiver. Transceiver. Then in case of demultiplexing in the maximum mode operation, okay, as we are going to see here, that ALE signal is available only in minimum mode. from 8086 processor. It is not available in maximum mode. So in the demultiplexing, in the maximum mode operation, it is clearly stated that ALE is not available from processor. It must be generated by 8288 bus controller. Maximum mode operation uses bus controller 8288, and that 8288 bus controller will generate that ALE signal here. But anyway, the operation of ALE, address latch enable, in both the modes remain the same. Okay, that note has been written at the bottom. It means that whether in a maximum mode that ALE signal generated by 8288 bus controller, or in the minimum mode that signal given by processor itself, that signal will be in the form of a positive going pulse which appears there in T1 state of bus cycle. And thereafter every operation remains one and the same here. Now a typical setup of demultiplexing. Demultiplexing setup in minimum mode of 8086 processor here. Now this elaborates that particular setup. Here to the left side is CPU 8086 in minimum mode. As minimum mode is to be set here, min max bar pin, it is connected to logic 1. You can observe it. Then on the right side, octal latches are shown at the top, 2 multiplied by 8282 octal latches, to which that multiplex address data and address status lines are directly connected, and ALE signal also directly connected to strobe input line. Okay, these latches will be enabled only during T1 state. Why? Because ALE pulse is present only during T1 state. And during the T1 state here, the address 0 to 19 and BHE bar signal which is given out by processor, that will be strobed inside those latches, and that will be available to the output here. So at the output of octal latches here, A0 to A19, 20 bits of address and one control signal bus high enable BHE bar will be available at the output. Then next, from T2 state onwards, that multiplex lines will carry your data and status output line S3 to S7, which will be given to these octal buffers, transceivers. It is a 2 sets of octal buffer transceiver, that is 8286. Here that data part will be given, and that data will be buffered inside, and that will be available to the output in the form of a buffered data bus D0 to D15. But in order to perform the operation related to that octal buffers or octal transceivers, we require DT/R bar signal and DN bar signal from microprocessor in the minimum mode. This DT/R bar signal is connected to the transmit pin of that buffer, so that it will define the direction of that data bus, data transfer through that octal buffer. And DN bar signal is connected to OE bar, that is to enable that buffer, set of buffer itself during data transfer operation. So this is a typical setup of demultiplexing in the minimum mode operation of 8086 processor. Same setup is available in maximum mode. The only difference is that in maximum mode that ALE signal is available from 8288 bus controller. Similarly, DTR bar signal is also available from that same bus controller, and active high data enable signal available from 8288, which need to be inverted, and then it is to be connected to that octal buffer. We'll see those details in the design, minimum and maximum mode designs. So this is all about the remaining signals.